Hey, my friend. I hope you're doing well. This kind of sucks. I just finished recording the entire video and then I realized right when I pressed record, it transferred to slow mo, so it was completely useless. It's kind of funny. So, take two ish of this update and just getting into a little more detail of what's happened. Yeah, hopefully it's just a little more smooth than the first time. So, let's just start off on an interesting note. I haven't recorded a video in probably about 50 days for the main channel, and the videos you've been seeing have been pre-recorded due to a planning for a business trip I had earlier last month, where I was supposed to be gone for about half the month, so I got ahead as much as I could. And yeah, so if you're wondering there, that's where most of that came from. All right, so that's just a quick part of that. So, a little bit of an interesting update is that around a couple of weeks ago, I got hit by a truck. I'm fine. Don't worry. It's kind of funny if you think about it. I was going for a long jog and walk just to clear my head. I was running through every intersection. And when I finally decided to head back home, get some Powerade Zero and maybe some chocolate milk, I just let myself be tired. And the first intersection I walked through, there was a pedestrian crosswalk. There was a car waiting to the right for me to cross, and then I noticed a vehicle approaching, so I started drifting away from the car just in case. I noticed that it wasn't slowing down. In fact, it accelerated, hit me, and I was able to react, so I squared up with the front of the vehicle. It was about at my chest level, a little higher, to where I had to jump and pretty much bounce or parry off of the hood of the truck. And I flew back probably about 6 feet, caught myself, and my arms whipped back aggressively. Just so you know, I'm not a small dude. I'm over 6 feet tall, pretty hefty, and the truck was taller than me. And I didn't think too much of it. They just said, "I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to." Um, Went to the hospital later, and they left, by the way. And that's another instance trying to be resolved. But there's video footage of it happening and other stuff. Went to the hospital. Nothing really came back negative, but in the following days, from whipping my arms back so aggressively, the force transfer of, I assume, maybe a couple ton truck hitting you and accelerating and then braking and shifts all of that force to your upper body neck area, that I have had a lot of discomfort, and it's been pretty bad the past 4 days, and it's been tough to sleep a lot of nights. I couldn't work for a bit because it just sucked. And I'm going to the doctor tomorrow about it again for follow-ups. But I'm fine. I'll be good. I'm not It's not going to be too bad for me. I've already kind of mentally dealt with it. Physically, I'm working on it and just waiting for more advice from medical professionals. So I did try recording one night some members videos, but within 5 minutes, my complete upper body near my neck and like the lower part of the back of my head just stiffened up, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go more than 15 minutes, and it just was terrible. And yesterday it was completely stiff and just not fun. But hopefully I'll be feeling better soon and can get back to doing other videos. Secondly, as you kind of heard from the other video, I assume you saw, that the past 50 days for me have really been a trial on so many regards, for Will, understandings, realizing a lot of stuff. I don't want to get too much into it because it's still fairly personal to me, but I will share what I hope can maybe help some of you grow or understand things yourselves. But honestly, you'll probably be thinking, you're just now realizing this type of thing, which is completely fine. Um, so, first off, um, I didn't realize, like, I've always been someone to minimize my own issues to just kind of make them seem non existent and just find another situation that's worse and not really letting myself feel bad about it or just brushing it off in a sense. And I didn't realize how much trauma there was growing up and how it's affected almost every aspect of my life. And I remember telling a couple people close to me that it's so sad, um, the things you didn't know as a child, and that's why you're hurting as much as you are now. I'm referring to myself and others and just people in general. And it really sucks knowing that. But it's something that, in my opinion, has to be understood and grown upon. And I've been doing that a lot. Um, Before we get further, something I want to mention earlier is that if you have any questions about anything I'm saying or want to express yourself, something that you've learned about, or that was a realization that really hits home to you, whatever it may be, please just leave a comment. I'll be checking this video almost religiously just to interact with you because I really, really do care for each one of you so much. The fact that you're here, I know you're such a wonderful, caring, empathetic person. And the world needs more people like that, as we could see if you look at the news or whatever. I try not to, but I'll remind that later, but please, just, yeah, you get it. So growing up, I didn't know how crappy it was for me. And through this, something you have to kind of understand, or I had to understand, is you can't measure other people's trauma because everyone, despite a lot of similarities, are different in how they perceive and understand what their environment. So I'm gonna try and be a bit more open and vulnerable so you could be a little more open and vulnerable with me. And plus, it does help saying this to somebody because it's been stuff I've been writing to myself in a journal. I think I'm almost at 90 pages in the past 20 days or so. And it's been lots of learning, but as a kid, I didn't get any affection. Never expressed my feelings to my parents. I was never asked really, how are you doing? Are you okay? What can I do to help? Type of thing. And the most clear way of love I received was silence. And that may sound like, how is that love? And that's where you kind of have to understand the people you're around, is that with all of their traumas and issues they've encountered in their life, that's the best they know how to do. And sometimes it's too late for growth for some people, or it's incredibly tough. And that was about the most, like, clear version of love was silence for me. And then having the necessities met. But besides that, I thought I was living it well, having fast food on the weekends, friends over unsupervised. But as I've grown older and having relationships, talks, understanding my issues with my parents and my friends' issues with their parents, I learned that a lot of stuff sucked. but I'm not letting it define who I am, or I'm not carrying resentment. I'm accepting it and realizing that's the best they could do, and that there are efforts to try to change, even though it may not be how I would like or idealize, but it's something, and it's very hard for people to change. And something I wrote down in my journal is that it's very easy to hate or blame, but it is incredibly tough to love. You could look at so many instances anywhere and you'll see that to be true. And I've always just been someone to choose love at my core, and I didn't know that. And with a lot of issues and instances in the past 50 days up to several years, there have been a lot of distractions for myself where I couldn't be myself and love how I know I can and want to, because there was so much negativity, hurt, blaming, lack of understanding, and trying to grow as instead of just surviving and getting to the next day. And just, yeah, I think you get that. You understand that. These past 50 days have been very difficult mentally, physically, emotionally, and it was very necessary. It has opened my eyes to so many things, realizing what matters in life, what matters to yourself, and it wasn't easy. I'm not done whatsoever. I'm still growing, but I'm glad I'm able to grow. And just today, I realized something is that with how I grew up and the environment I've seen, I wouldn't use pride as the word, but I'm very pleased with where I am and how I treated situations, even though there are lots of regrets, because I am honestly my biggest bully and critique. I criticize myself a lot and push a lot of blame on me, but also I do the opposite, and it's just been very difficult to come to that after knowing so many unknown hurts. And it's just something that I think a lot of people need to forgive themselves and understand themselves more to be able to grow. So a lot of issues like growing up I didn't know carried into many relationships, and I've been learning through it and understanding it more and just accepting and choosing to love, and it's been helping so much. To kind of touch back to recording videos, I didn't realize how how nice it is to hang out. I knew I enjoyed it. I know I looked forward to doing it. If you didn't know, why I started the channel was to just hang out with a friend, relax, and just kind of not think about the day, not think about the issues, focus on some cards and get some rest, because sleep can be so hard to get sometimes. And I just wanted to be a friend and try and help that. Even if we haven't physically seen each other, I believe that there's a very close connection that's just hard to deny. And in these past 50 days, I haven't been able to record it because I have not been, for a large majority of it, I have not been happy. I have not been feeling well. But in the past couple weeks, I have been feeling much better. I have been feeling good almost, very content. I didn't think I would feel this way. I didn't think I would grow. I didn't think I would see as many things I do now a month ago. Even yesterday, I didn't think there was too much more to learn. But every time I think that within a day or two, there's something new to realize by just letting myself feel. I'd never let myself feel how I should have. And it's very hard to open up when you've never done it before growing up. And I think a lot of us can relate to an aspect in that. I honestly lost my train of thought like completely. And I I'll just go on to another subject or kind of carry on from that is that I have been feeling better. I'm going to try to record. I'm not sure if I've said this yet, but since the I was hit by a truck, I've tried recording, but there was so much pain after 5 minutes in my neck stiffening and just moving my head left and right. I couldn't do it. And I've been working trying to get better to be able to do that because it is really so fulfilling just spending time with a friend. And I really hope that comes through. And it's just something I didn't know I valued as much as I did. In these past, probably more so a month, I've been missing it, but I didn't want to be there when I was hurting. It was just very hard to not do anything. Because it comes from a place of joy and happiness and care, even if the games are silly and stupid. That's really how it is and how I feel about it. Anyway, I feel like I've just completely lost my train of thought. It's about 4 in the morning. It's tough to sleep through the constant nagging of the neck, but it's okay. It'll get better eventually. I just wanted to do this video too, just to kind of open up and say it's okay to feel, because I know a lot of us have grown up and have had a secure family and let that had that option to be okay expressing yourself. But some of us didn't, and it's very difficult to share something. There's so much more I'd like to share, but I just don't think the time's right for myself. I'm still learning and realizing a lot of different things. But if you have any questions or anything to just say, I'll respond to them. This is just probably going to be between us. No one's going to see it. Very few people are probably going to watch this video. It's just, I care for you so much more than I think you realize. And it all comes from a place of love, genuine love and care. And I hope that comes through as it does. So honestly, I don't know where to go back to. I told you this is my second attempt recording this, and after the slow-mo issue, and I expressed so much more. I think that was probably about a 40-minute video with lots of just subject after subject, and I'm still at the point where I feel fine and content with myself, but expressing as much as I did the first time, I think really took a lot of mental and emotional energy out of me. And that's okay. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel low. And it's okay to feel a lot of things. I have to tell myself that because it's just not natural. I don't know where this is going. I think I'll end it here, my friend, but I hope I was able to say something to share. I honestly don't remember too much right now about what I just said, but I just want to end it on this. I love you all so much. I really hope you know that. Whenever we hang out, it's so enjoyable. Even if you you comment every night or you're just there listening quietly, it's still the same exact experience. And it means so much to me, and I'm feeling well enough where I think I could get back to doing some more in that regard. Damn, I didn't realize I'd be so drained after saying it the first time. I'm sorry about that. But my friend, that's it. I hope there's a little bit more understanding between us, maybe in yourself or whatever it may be. Until we meet again, please stay safe. Watch out for stupid drivers. I love you. Have a great rest of your night.